Welcome back, brave souls. If you've survived our previous episodes without face palming yourself into a concussion, today you're in for a treat. This video isn't about just one story of human genius gone wrong. Oh, no, it's a full buffet of the finest Darwin Award moments we've already covered. Think of it as a greatest hits album, except instead of music, it's people who thought playing with grenades, bears, or power lines was a solid life choice. So buckle up, because we're revisiting the bold, the reckless, and the hopelessly overconfident. All the stunts that make you say, thank goodness I wasn't there, but I kind of wish I had a front row seat. Number 1. First up, we've got a 28-year-old genius from Reno, Nevada, in 2021, who found an old grenade and thought, hey, I've seen microwaves do wonders for popcorn. Why not explosives? Believing he could defuse it by zapping it, he pops it in the microwave, hits start, and boom, turns his kitchen into a war zone. The blast sent him straight to the Darwin Awards Hall of Fame. I mean, who looks at a grenade and thinks, nuke it for safety? If your bomb squad plan involves a kitchen appliance, maybe stick to reheating pizza. This guy's bright idea went out with a bang, literally. Number 2. Next, we're swamp hopping to New Orleans, 2018, where a 24-year-old at a bayou party decided to live his best swamp people fantasy. Fueled by enough booze to float a steamboat, he takes a dare to wrestle a wild alligator. Spoiler, gators don't play by bar rules. This guy dives into the swamp, gets mauled, and drowns, earning a Darwin Award for his Cajun-style exit. If your party trick involves a 10-foot reptile with a bad attitude, maybe stick to beer pong. This dude learned the hard way that gators aren't here for your WWE audition. Number 3. Now, let's head to Brooklyn, New York, 2015, where a 27-year-old street performer thought he'd spice up his act with some sword swallowing. Problem is, he skipped the whole training part. Thinking he could just wing it, he shoves a blade down his throat, punctures his esophagus, and dies from internal bleeding. Darwin Award, unlocked. Sword swallowing isn't like karaoke. You can't just grab the mic and hope for the best. If you're going to play medieval circus, maybe start with juggling. This guy's performance was a cut above, but not in the way he hoped. Number 4. Over in Seattle, 2016, we've got a 25-year-old who decided to take chill vibes to a deadly extreme. Inspired by some TikToks-level science, he fills a bathtub with dry ice for a cooling bath. Sounds refreshing, right? Wrong. The carbon dioxide buildup turned his spa day into a suffocation station, and he didn't make it out, snagging a Darwin Award. If you're chasing that Arctic plunge, maybe stick to ice cubes from the fridge. This guy's experiment proved that cool can get real cold, real fast. Number 5. Next, we're in Chicago, 2018, where a 26-year-old thought he'd impress the bar crowd with a flaming shot of high-proof alcohol. He lights it up, goes for the gulp, and whoosh, sets his face and throat on fire. The burns were fatal, and the Darwin Award was inevitable. Look, we all love a good party trick, but drinking literal fire is how you go from cheers to oh dear in seconds. If you're playing bartender, maybe keep the flames for the tiki torches. This guy's hot shot was a blazing mistake. Number 6. Down in St. Louis, Missouri, 2020, a 21-year-old decided to invent the world's worst drinking game, Taser Tag Solo Edition. He zaps himself repeatedly, probably thinking he's building up some superhero immunity. Spoiler, his heart didn't get the memo. Cardiac arrest kicked in, and he zapped his way to a Darwin Award. If you're bored at a party, Maybe try charades instead of turning yourself into a human circuit board. This kid's shocking game night was a jolt too far. Number 7. Heading to Charlotte, North Carolina, 2017, we've got a 40-year-old who thought lawnmower maintenance meant dousing a running machine with gasoline. His logic? It'll clean it. Instead, it cleaned him out of existence when the inevitable fire erupted, earning him a Darwin Award. Pouring gas on a spinning blade is like inviting a dragon to a barbecue. If your yard work involves flammable liquids, maybe turn the mower off first. This guy's bright idea went up in flames, and not the good kind. Number 8. Next, we're back in Washington, 1999, with Rodney, a jet ski enthusiast who redefined jumpstart. When his jet ski's battery dies on Lake Washington, Rodney grabs jumper cables, plugs them into a 110-volt outlet, and, here's the kicker, jumps into the water holding live clips. Zap! He electrocutes himself and cruises right into the Darwin Awards. If your boat's dead, maybe call a tow instead of playing human spark plug. Rodney's shocking solution was a wet and wild farewell. Number 9. And now we've got David Manley, a 41-year-old from Michigan in 2003, who clearly thought he was the star of his own action flick. Picture this. David drives his pickup truck onto the frozen Saginaw Bay because why not treat thin ice like a parking lot? The ice cracks, his truck sinks, but he escapes like a soggy James Bond. You'd think he'd call it quits, right? Nope. The next night, he grabs an ATV, heads back to the same spot, and, surprise, breaks through again. This time, he drowns, earning a Darwin Award for his encore performance. If you cheat death once, maybe don't tempt fate with a sequel. David's ice capade was colder than a polar bear's toenails. Number 10. Next, we're in San Diego, California, 2016, where a 30-year-old decided to play ninja over a razor wire fence to sneak into a restricted water pump house. Sounds like a solid plan, right? Except he slips and, brace yourself, slices his scrotum so badly he bleeds out, effectively sterilizing himself and snagging a Darwin Award. This guy turned a sneaky mission into a horror movie called The Castration Chronicles. If you're climbing a fence sharper than a chef's knife, maybe wear some Kevlar undies. His shortcut was a cut too deep in every sense. Number 11. Now, let's head to Pennsylvania, 1997, where Wayne Roth, bitten by his buddy's pet cobra, decided to channel his inner tough guy. Instead of rushing to the ER, Wayne says, "I'm a man, I can handle it," and heads to a bar to knock back some beers. Spoiler, cobra venom doesn't mix well with Bud Light. He keels over, earning a Darwin Award for his macho meltdown. If a deadly snake bites you, maybe skip the barstool bravado and call 911. Wayne's handle it attitude was about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Number 12. Over in Los Angeles, 2003, we've got John, an attorney who thought he'd multitask by cleaning his pool and playing electrician. Spotting a palm frond on nearby power lines, he grabs a metal pole, because that's the tool for the job, and tries to knock it off. Zap! He's electrocuted faster than you can say lawsuit, landing a Darwin Award. If you're messing with high voltage lines, maybe leave it to the pros instead of turning your backyard into a Tesla coil. John's bright idea dimmed his lights for good. Number 13. Next up, North Carolina, 1992, where a guy in Hickory decided to settle a breakup with his ex-girlfriend the old-fashioned way by smashing her car's windshield. His weapon of choice? A shotgun. Not as a gun, mind you, but as a club. Mid-swing, it discharges, blowing him away and straight into the Darwin Awards. Using a loaded shotgun like a baseball bat is like using a grenade as a paperweight. If you're gonna play car smashing caveman, maybe check the chamber first. This guy's rage quit was a blast he didn't see coming. Number 14. Now, we're in Newark, New Jersey, 1990, where a man proved that sometimes your worst enemy is yourself. Stuck in a poorly ventilated room with a diet that could gag a skunk, he builds up so much methane gas, yes, from his own farts, that he suffocates. Darwin Award. Delivered. This guy turned his room into a gas chamber more toxic than a porta potty at a chili cook-off. If your diet's making you a human biogas plant, maybe crack a window. His silent but deadly exit was one for the record books. Number 15. Out in Tucson, Arizona, 1998, a guy thought he'd spice up the desert with some 4th of July flair. His plan: lob a massive firework at a saguaro cactus, because who doesn't love exploding plants? The blast blows out the cactus's base, and timber, it crushes him, earning a Darwin Award. Throwing fireworks at a 30-foot cactus is like poking a bear with a sparkler. If you're feeling patriotic, maybe stick to waving a flag. This dude's prickly prank flattened him faster than a pancake. Number 16. Next, we've got Gary Allen Banning, 43, in Raleigh, North Carolina, 2012, who redefined bad taste. Mistaking a jar of gasoline for his drink because, they look so similar. He takes a big swig, then lights a cigarette to ponder his life choices. The resulting fire engulfs him, and he burns out with a Darwin Award. Drinking gas and smoking is like chugging hot sauce and jumping into a volcano. If your beverage smells like a gas station, maybe double check the label. Gary's fiery finale was a spark too far. Number 17. And now, we're in Dallas, Texas, 2018, where a 40-year-old decided to turn his backyard pool into a live wire act. This guy plugs a sketchy frayed extension cord into his pool pump, thinking it's fine for a swim. Spoiler, it's not. He dives in, gets zapped like he's auditioning for a lightning bolt, and earns a Darwin Award for his electrifying exit. Using a janky cord near water is like inviting Zeus to your pool party. If your setup looks like it's from a horror movie, maybe call an electrician. This dude's splash was a shock too far. Number 18. Next, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 2014, where a 45-year-old thought cleaning a gas tank was the perfect time for a smoke break. Picture him scrubbing away, gasoline fumes thicker than a fog machine at a rock concert when he lights a cigarette. Boom! The explosion sends him straight to the Darwin Awards. Lighting up near gas is like juggling lit torches in a dynamite factory. If you're wrist deep in fuel, maybe save the Marlboros for later. This guy's puff turned into a permanent blackout. Number 19. Over in Austin, Texas, 2017, a 30-year-old at a bonfire party decided to play Mythbusters with a propane tank. His big idea: chuck it into the flames to see what happens. What happens is a massive explosion that kills him, injures others, and lands him a Darwin Award. Throwing propane into a fire is like tossing a grenade into a microwave for kicks. If you're curious about explosions, watch a Michael Bay movie instead. This dude's fiery experiment was a blast nobody needed. Number 20. Now, let's head to Toledo, Ohio, 2014, where a 20-year-old, fresh off a bender, thought train tracks were the coziest spot for a nap. He lays down to feel the rumble, passes out, and yep, gets flattened by a freight train. Darwin Award. Delivered. Sleeping on tracks is like booking a bed in a demolition derby. If you're hammered and craving vibes, maybe stick to a couch. This kid's rumble became a one-way ticket to Snoozeville. Number 21. Out in Denver, Colorado, 2015, a 31-year-old decided a rattlesnake was the perfect prop for his Instagram flex. He picks up the hissing nope rope for a selfie, gets bitten multiple times, and, because why stop at one bad call, refuses treatment. He slithers off to the Darwin Awards. Grabbing a venomous snake is like shaking hands with a live grenade. If you need a photo op, maybe pose with a puppy. This guy's selfie was a venomous viral fail. Number 22. Back in Arizona, 2018, a 35-year-old in Phoenix thought a hot tub was the place to rock out with a dodgy radio. He plugs it into a shaky outlet, drops it into the water, and zap! Gets electrocuted, earning a Darwin Award. Plugging electronics near a hot tub is like inviting a toaster to your bath. If you're vibing in the bubbles, keep the gadgets dry. This dude's hot tub jam session ended with a shocking finale. Number 23. In Nashville, Tennessee, 2017, a 28-year-old decided to show off by cutting down a tree while standing directly under it. Chainsaw roaring, he slices through and timber, the tree crushes him, securing a Darwin Award. Standing under a falling tree is like playing chicken with a wrecking ball. If you're playing lumberjack, maybe step to the side. This guy's stunt was a crushing blow to his ego and everything else. Number 24. Next, we're back in Tucson, Arizona, 2018, where a 23-year-old took Dare Ya to a prickly new low. At a party, he jumps onto a cactus because apparently that's a flex. The spines turn him into a human pincushion. Infections set in, and he checks out with a Darwin Award. Jumping on a cactus is like diving into a porcupine's hug. If you're chasing clout, maybe try a TikTok dance instead. This kid's spiky stunt was a thorn in his side, permanently. Number 25. Next, we're off to Moab, Utah, 2019, where a 28-year-old thought his Jeep was the star of a Hollywood stunt show. For that perfect Instagram shot, he drives right up to a cliff edge because nothing says adventure like teetering over a 1,000-foot drop. Spoiler, the cliff wasn't impressed. His Jeep rolls over, and he crashes his way to a Darwin Award. Driving to a cliff's edge for clout is like playing Russian roulette with a monster truck. If you need a pick, maybe use Photoshop. This dude's photo op was a real cliffhanger, minus the happy ending. Number 26. Over in Boulder, Colorado, 2020, a 26-year-old redefined charging in the dumbest way possible. Thinking he could juice up a lithium-ion battery, he pops it in the microwave, hits start, and boom! Turns his kitchen into a fireworks finale. The explosion earns him a Darwin Award and a one-way ticket to the great beyond. Microwaving a battery is like trying to charge your phone with a lightning bolt. If your battery's dead, maybe grab a charger, not a kitchen nuke. This guy's bright idea sparked a fatal meltdown. Number 27. Now, let's head to Chicago, Illinois, 2016, where a 24-year-old decided to play urban explorer in a storm sewer. Thinking it's the perfect spot for an adventure, he crawls in, gets stuck, and, oh, look, a rainstorm. He drowns, securing a Darwin Award for his underground escapade. Exploring a sewer is like vacationing in a porta potty. If you're craving thrills, maybe try an escape room instead. This kid's tunnel vision washed him right out of the gene pool. Number 28. Down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 2017, a 20-year-old at a party took Dare Ya to a gut-busting extreme. Someone bets him to swallow a lit firecracker, and he thinks, why not? The answer, because it's a tiny bomb. Genius. It goes off inside him, causing fatal injuries and a Darwin Award. Swallowing a firecracker is like chugging a Molotov cocktail. If you're chasing party cred, maybe stick to a spicy wing challenge. This guy's explosive stunt was a real gut punch. Number 29. Up in Madison, Wisconsin, 2018, a 27-year-old thought he'd channel his inner Tarzan with a DIY rope swing. Problem is, he ties it to a rotten tree branch that's weaker than a soggy pretzel. He swings, the branch snaps, and he plummets to a Darwin Award-worthy end. Tying a swing to a dead branch is like trusting a paper towel to hold your car. If you're going full playground, maybe check the tree first. This dude's high-flying act crashed harder than a bad rom-com. Number 30. In Savannah, Georgia, 2021, a 35-year-old decided to super clean his bathroom by mixing bleach and ammonia, because who needs lungs, right? The toxic fumes hit him like a chemical freight train, and he checks out with a Darwin Award. Mixing those cleaners is like brewing a witch's potion in a hazmat suit. If you're deep cleaning, maybe read the labels or just stick to a sponge. This guy's sparkling bathroom came with a deadly shine. Number 31. Finally, we're in Jackson, Mississippi, 2019, where a 30-year-old thought his garage was the perfect spot for a Breaking Bad cosplay. Cooking meth. He fumbles the chemistry, and boom! The explosion turns his lab into a fireball, earning him a Darwin Award. Running a meth lab is like hosting a bonfire in a dynamite shed. If you're chasing a high, maybe try a roller coaster instead. This guy's chemistry experiment blew up in his face, literally. Number 1. First up, we've got a 23-year-old from San Diego, California in 2022 who thought he'd light up TikTok, literally. Deciding to try fire breathing for his 15 seconds of fame, he grabs gasoline instead of, something less explosive. He takes a big gulp, blows, and whoosh, turns himself into a human tiki torch. The burns were fatal, and he snagged a Darwin Award faster than you can say, filter fail. Fire breathing with gas is like juggling dynamite at a gas station. If you're chasing views, maybe stick to a dance challenge. This guy's stunt was a blazing F in common sense. Number 2. Next, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina, 2020, where a 23-year-old decided to spice up his live stream with a ghost pepper challenge. Thinking he's tougher than a Carolina Reaper, he chomps down on the fiery demon seed, only to trigger a massive allergic reaction. Anaphylaxis kicks in, and he checks out with a Darwin Award before the stream even hits 100 viewers. Eating a ghost pepper without knowing your allergies is like playing Russian roulette with a hot sauce gun. If you're going live, maybe test your limits off camera. This dude's spicy stunt was hotter than he could handle. Number 3. Over in Las Vegas, Nevada, 2022, a 24-year-old thought he'd cool down his YouTube channel with a futuristic drink, liquid nitrogen. Yeah, the stuff that's colder than a polar bear's fridge. He downs it for the camera, and surprise! His insides freeze like a popsicle gone wrong. He didn't survive, but he did snag a Darwin Award for his icy innovation. Drinking liquid nitrogen is like chugging a cryogenic smoothie. If you want a cool video, maybe try an iced latte. This guy's frosty flex was a sub-zero disaster. Number 4. Now, let's head to Los Angeles, California, 2021, where a 22-year-old decided to revive the fire challenge for TikTok. His plan? Douse himself in rubbing alcohol, light it up, and dance through the flames. Spoiler, he's no stuntman. The fire spreads faster than a viral cat video, leaving him with third-degree burns. he dies in the hospital. Earning a Darwin Award for his fiery folly. Setting yourself on fire for likes is like skydiving with a bedsheet parachute. If you're chasing trends, maybe pick one that doesn't involve arson. This kid's blaze of glory was a total burnout. Number 5. Down in Miami, Florida, 2020, a 19-year-old thought he'd bring back the Tide Pod Challenge because apparently 2018 wasn't warning enough. He pops a detergent pod in his mouth on TikTok, expecting clout, but getting poison instead. He's rushed to the hospital, barely dodging a Darwin Award, but earning a lifetime of "what were you thinking" memes. Eating a Tide Pod is like snacking on a bleach gummy bear. If you're hungry for views, maybe try a pizza challenge. This guy's soapy stunt cleaned out his dignity but kept him breathing. Barely. Number 6. Next, we're still in Miami, 2022, where a 24-year-old decided to prank beachgoers for YouTube by wearing a shark costume. Calling himself Shark Boy, he flops around, scaring folks until a lifeguard tackles him like an NFL linebacker. No injuries, just a bruised ego and a viral clip dubbed Shark Boy Fail that racked up more laughs than subscribers. Dressing as a shark to troll is like wearing a clown wig to a funeral. If you're pranking, maybe don't pick a beach with lifeguards on high alert. This dude's fantastic flop was a meme masterpiece. Number 7. Up in Detroit, Michigan, 2020, a 25-year-old thought chugging a gallon of milk for TikTok would make him a legend. He grabs the jug, starts glugging, and yep, pukes his guts out on camera. No Darwin Award here, just 50 views and a flood of gross dude comments. Chugging milk is like trying to drink a lake in one go. If you're after viral fame, maybe lip sync a hit song instead. This guy's dairy disaster was utterly forgettable. Number 8. Next, we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, 2023, where a 26-year-old tried to cash in on UFO fever with a fake alien sighting video. He posts a blurry clip of an alien on YouTube, hyping it up like he's cracked Area 51. Turns out it's just his cousin in a dollar store costume. The internet roasts him harder than a marshmallow at a campfire, and he gains 0 subscribers. Faking an alien is like claiming you saw Bigfoot at Walmart. If you're chasing extraterrestrial clout, maybe stick to sci-fi fan fiction. This guy's close encounter was a cosmic embarrassment. Number 9. And now, we've got a 20-year-old from Chicago, Illinois, in 2020 who thought he'd sauce up his TikTok game, literally. This guy decides to bathe in a tub full of spaghetti sauce for a prank because nothing screams content creator like turning your bathroom into an Italian restaurant's nightmare. The result? It's ruined apartment, a cleaning bill bigger than his follower count, and a measly handful of views with comments like, "Bro, why?" He didn't snag a Darwin Award, but he did earn a PhD in online shame. Bathing in marinara is like diving into a ketchup tsunami. If you're pranking, maybe stick to glitter bombs. This dude's saucy stunt was a messy meatball of regret. Number 10. Next, we're in Phoenix, Arizona, 2021, where a 22-year-old decided to spice up his TikTok with a hot sauce eye drop challenge. Thinking he's tougher than a habanero, he squirts the fiery stuff right into his eyeballs, then screams like he's auditioning for a horror flick. The clip goes viral, but not for the reasons he hoped. Comments like spicing up his tears flood in, cementing his status as a meme. No Darwin Award, just a red-eyed lesson in pain. Putting hot sauce in your eyes is like washing your face with lava. If you want spicy content, maybe eat some wings on camera. This guy's fiery fail was a tearjerker in all the wrong ways. Number 11. Over in New Orleans, Louisiana, 2021, a 24-year-old tried to haunt YouTube with a ghost video. He filmed something spooky moving in his house, hyping it up as paranormal gold. Turns out it's just his roommate draped in a bed sheet, looking less like a specter and more like a laundry day reject. The internet dubs him Casper's cousin, and the mockery buries his channel. No Darwin Award here, just a ghostly ego bruise. Faking a haunting with a sheet is like staging a Bigfoot sighting with a furry onesie. If you're chasing scares, maybe watch a horror movie instead. This dude's supernatural scam was a spectral flop. Number 12. Now, let's head to Dallas, Texas, 2020, where a 22-year-old thought a waxing prank would wax poetic on his live stream. He slathers hot wax on his buddy's back, but, oops, it sticks like super glue, turning the room into a sticky mess. The stream devolves into chaos with viewers roasting them for the disaster. No Darwin Award, just a viral clip that's more cringe than clout. Waxing someone unprepared is like trying to peel a sticker off a laptop. If you're pranking, maybe go for a fake spider. This guy's hairy situation was a rip-roaring failure. Number 13. In Los Angeles, California, 2020, a 19-year-old decided to play barber during quarantine for a live stream. Armed with clippers, he buzzes his head, but yikes, botches it so bad he looks like he lost a fight with a lawnmower. The internet crowns him quarantine barber fail, and the memes keep buzzing long after the stream ends. No Darwin Award, just a bad haircut and a worse reputation. DIY buzz cuts on camera are like painting blindfolded. If you need a trim, maybe call a pro, or at least watch a tutorial. This kid's clipper catastrophe was a sheer disaster. Number 14. Next, we're in Chicago, Illinois, 2023, where a 22-year-old tried to bend time itself with a time travel YouTube video. He posts shaky footage claiming he's in 2050, but it's just poorly edited clips of his backyard. The internet clocks him as back to the flop, and the comments tear him apart faster than a DeLorean at 88 miles per hour. No Darwin Award, just a time-wasting embarrassment. Faking time travel is like claiming you invented Wi-Fi in the 1800s. If you're dreaming of sci-fi fame, maybe write a script instead. This guy's temporal tantrum was a futuristic fumble. Number 15. Over in Cincinnati, Ohio, 2020, a 21-year-old thought a slime bath would ooze TikTok stardom. He whips up a vat of homemade slime, dives in, and, surprise, gets stuck like a fly in honey. His flailing goes viral as slime guy's sticky situation. But the laughs are at his expense, not with him. No Darwin Award, just a gooey mess in a trashed bathroom. Bathing in slime is like swimming in industrial glue. If you're after quirky content, maybe try a glitter face mask. This dude's slimy stunt was a viscous nightmare. Number 16. Next, we're in Tucson, Arizona, 2020, where a 24-year-old aimed for UFO fame on YouTube. He rigs a drone with Christmas lights, films it as a UFO, and posts it with X-Files vibes. Problem is, the drone crashes mid-video, revealing his backyard setup. The internet dubs him ET's Uber driver, and his channel stays grounded. No Darwin Award, just a crash landing in meme town. Faking a UFO with a drone is like staging an alien invasion with a kite. If you're chasing cosmic clout, maybe stargaze instead. This guy's extraterrestrial epic was a stellar belly flop. Number 17. And now we're in Tampa, Florida, 2020, where a 23-year-old thought he'd ink his way to TikTok stardom. Live streaming his DIY tattoo session, he grabs a needle and goes full Picasso, except his art looks like a toddler's scribble on a bad day. The botched design, dubbed Ink Regret by the internet, goes viral for all the wrong reasons, with comments like, "Bro, that's a permanent oops." No Darwin Award? Just a lifetime of long sleeves and regret. Tattooing yourself on camera is like performing brain surgery with a butter knife. If you want ink, maybe hit up a parlor. This guy's needle nightmare was a total tat-tastrophe. Number 18. Next, we're in Savannah, Georgia, 2022, where a 23-year-old decided to glow up his beard for TikTok by slathering it with hot sauce. Thinking it'll make him look edgy, he smears on the spicy stuff, only to scream like he's auditioning for a Viking death metal band. The burns leave him redder than a lobster, and the internet crowns him Spicy Whiskers, with 0 views to show for it. No Darwin Award, just a singed ego and a beard that smells like a taco truck. Hot sauce on your face is like waxing with napalm. If you're chasing a glow up, maybe try a face mask. This dude's fiery facelift was a sizzling flop. Number 19. Over in Sacramento, California, 2021, a 20-year-old thought a DIY piercing would pierce the TikTok algorithm. On live stream, he jabs a thumbtack through his ear, yelps like a stepped-on puppy, and, surprise, gets a gnarly infection. The internet dubs him Pinhead Wannabe, and the comments roast him harder than a marshmallow at a bonfire. No Darwin Award, just an ER visit and a viral clip of pure pain. Piercing with a thumbtack is like fixing your car with a paperclip. If you want bling, maybe see a pro. This kid's stab at fame was a bloody bad idea. Number 20. Now, let's head to Denver, Colorado, 2020, where a 24-year-old decided to prank hikers for TikTok by roaring in a bear costume. He lumbers out, growling like a discount Grizzly Adams, until a hiker blasts him with pepper spray. Coughing and crying, he's exposed as Grizzly Goof, with his video racking up laughs, not likes. No Darwin Award, just a stinging lesson in wildlife cosplay. Pranking as a bear is like juggling knives at a clown convention. If you're trolling, maybe pick a less spicy target. This guy's wild stunt was a positively painful fail. Number 21. Next up, we're in Austin, Texas, 2021, where a 21-year-old tried to go viral on YouTube with a super glue makeup challenge. She glues glitter to her face, thinking it's a sleigh, but ends up ripping off half her eyebrow trying to remove it. Dubbed Glitter Glue Girl, her tearful video gets memed into oblivion with comments like, "Sparkle now, cry later." No Darwin Award, just a patchy brow and a trash channel. Gluing your face is like taping your phone to a rocket. If you want glam, maybe stick to eyeshadow. This gal's shiny stunt was a sticky catastrophe. Number 22. In Seattle, Washington, 2020, a 22-year-old thought a bubble bath bomb prank would pop off on TikTok. He dumps a gallon of dish soap in his tub, creates a foam mountain, and slips, cracking his phone and flooding his apartment. The internet calls him Suds McFlop, and his 30 views come with a side of "Clean up, bro." No Darwin Award, just a soggy mess and a viral slip-up. Overloading a tub with soap is like turning your bathroom into a car wash. If you're pranking, maybe keep it dry. This dude's bubbly blunder was a washout. Number 23. Over in Miami, Florida, 2022, a 23-year-old aimed for YouTube fame with a mermaid tail swim challenge. He straps on a cheap costume tail, dives into a public pool, and oops, can't swim in it, flailing like a fish out of water. Lifeguards haul him out, and the clip, dubbed Merman Mishap, drowns in mockery. No Darwin Award, just a soaked ego and 0 subscribers. Swimming in a fake tail is like running a marathon in flippers. If you're channeling Ariel, maybe practice first. This guy's aquatic adventure was a splashy flop. Number 24. Next, we're in Portland, Oregon, 2023, where a 25-year-old tried to prank TikTok with a fake robbery video. He stages a holdup with a toy gun, but a bystander calls 911 and cops swarm him. His panicked explanation goes viral as robbery rookie, with comments like Oscar for dumbest director. No Darwin Award, just a court date and a roasted reputation. Faking a crime is like yelling fire at a barbecue. If you're pranking, maybe stick to jump scares. This dude's stick-up stunt was a criminal-level cringe. Number 25. Picture this. South Korea, 2023, where a K-pop star, let's call him Mr. Sparkle, has cheekbones sharper than a samurai sword and a smile that could power Seoul. This guy's so good-looking, his selfies crash Instagram servers. But some fans take their stan game to a wild level, suing him for being too hot, claiming his flawless face caused them emotional distress. Like, what? Did his dimples give you heart palpitations? They demand cash for their swooning, but the court's like, nah, that's just K-pop doing its job. The case gets yeeted as frivolous, and the internet roasts these fans harder than a barbecue at a BTS concert. Suing a pop star for being dreamy is like suing a sunset for being too pretty. If you're melting over a music video, maybe stan a cactus instead. Mr. Sparkle's glow-up just became a global meme. Number 1. A beautiful sunny day. Waves crashing, seagulls flying, and 2 absolute brain donors with a genius plan. These 2 morons decide they're gonna break into a beachside shop. You know, steal some gear. Nothing says summer fun like petty theft. But they're not just criminals. Oh no, they're innovators. One of them grabs a drill to break into a secure locker. And because you can't commit a good old-fashioned burglary without style, he's holding the lock steady with one hand and drilling with the other. Except, plot twist, he's not wearing gloves or shoes or, apparently, a brain. The drill bit slips, slides right into his own skull, and lights out, genius! If you're gonna rob a place, maybe don't bring power tools you can't handle. And definitely don't point them at your face. Number 2. Next up, meet the man who thought electricity was more of a vibe than a science. This electrical wizard was trying to fix a power line. Simple, right? Except he forgot one teensy little step. Like, say, turning off the electricity. Instead, he grabbed a live, high-voltage cable like it owed him money. Imagine if Zeus in a toaster had a baby, and that baby punched you in the chest! That's what happened. He got blasted so hard he probably showed up as a new constellation. We don't know what he was trying to fix, but he definitely unplugged himself from life. Bright idea? Literally. Just not in the still breathing kind of way. Number 3. Oh, you're gonna love this one. So there's this guy, an aspiring TikTok star, YouTuber, whatever, and he wants to film something epic. He's near a rock quarry. There's blasting equipment. There's a phone camera. What could go wrong? He sets up his phone on the triggering device of an industrial rock blaster. That's right. This guy used a bomb detonator as a tripod. Now, in a twist that shocked literally no one with common sense, the device registered the phone's weight as a go signal. The explosion went off. Instantly, he didn't just lose his shot, he lost the ability to ever post again. It's the first time in history someone literally blew up their content and themselves. Number 4. We now present the human kebab. One fine Saturday night, our next Darwinian hero decided he wanted to show off his new fire-resistant jacket to his buddies. But what's a demo without a little vodka and live fire, right? So he douses himself in vodka, naturally, then lights up a skewer like he's at a backyard BBQ. Except alcohol is flammable, even the vapors. And guess what's not fireproof? His face. The moment he leans over the grill, whoosh! Instant face flambe. This dude turned himself into a flaming shot. Literally, the jacket worked. His body was fine, but his head? Not so much. Fireproof jacket, 1. Brain cells, 0 point. Number 5. Our main character here decides to attach himself to a bunch of helium balloons. Like actual weather-grade balloons. Think Pixar's Up, but with none of the planning and all of the Darwin. He floats up and up and up past rooftops, trees, power lines. Somewhere around 2,000 feet, he realizes he doesn't know how to steer. He doesn't know how to get down. He forgot a parachute. Now the FAA is tracking him like a rogue UFO. Eventually, gravity remembers him. He starts to descend, balloons popping one by one. He crashes into a field and doesn't survive the landing. Buddy, this isn't Fortnite. There's no respawn when you try to hot air yourself into space on a budget. Number 6. So our next honorary Darwin recipient decided he wanted to impress, who knows, himself maybe? His plan. Create a super flash using a little thing called uranium. Yes, that uranium. This guy got his hands on a chunk of it. Probably not legally, definitely not wisely. And set up an experiment to demonstrate the glow of nuclear particles. You know, for science. And Instagram. Except uranium doesn't come with a user manual. Or a warning that says, hey, don't stand next to this for 3 hours straight. Which is exactly what he did. Just chilling with radioactive death like it's a tanning bed. He didn't blow up, but his organs sure did quit one by one. Radiation poisoning. Nature's way of saying, you're not ready for nuclear tech, Steve. Number 7. Now, let's talk about a man who took testing live wires literally. This electrical engineer, and I use engineer loosely, decided to test a high-voltage scintillation wire without insulation. Bare, metal, wire, high voltage. His method? Touch it. Apparently, he'd done it before. This time, however, the wire said, nah fam, and released enough current to launch him backward like a Marvel villain's origin story. Immediate cardiac arrest. Dead on the spot. You know what's more insulating than no gloves? Literally anything. It's always shocking how some people don't understand what shock means. Well, number 8. So there's this ski bro in the Rockies who wasn't content with boring old gravity. No, sir, he wanted speed. So what does he do? Attaches a jet engine to his skis. Now I don't know what part of aerodynamics he misunderstood, but here's what happened. He fires it up, starts going 80 miles per hour downhill, and realizes mid-descent that steering is more of a theory than a thing. He blasts right off the trail and goes full Wile E. Coyote into a pine tree, exploded like a snowman in July. At least he died doing what he loved, turning winter sports into NASA launch tests. Number 9. This next guy was very into lasers. So into them, in fact, that he decided to build one powerful enough to burn stuff, including his own eyeball. In a bold act of let's see what happens, he aligned the beam toward a reflective surface and stared into it. You know, because mirrors and concentrated light are just a myth, right? 1 second later, instant blindness in one eye. Not just that, and the trauma triggered a full mental breakdown. His friend said he was never the same again. No kidding. He looked directly into a sun-powered death beam. And now, instead of fixing vision, he's permanently subscribed to the dark mode lifestyle. Number 10. Meet the man who modified his own snorkel, a classic move from the "how hard can it be" category. He figured the tube was too long or too awkward, so he cut it short, right under the mask seal. Genius, right? Except he forgot one small issue: airflow. He dives into cold waters, takes a deep breath, and gets nothing. Water rushes in. The cold hits. Panic ensues. He flails around like a drunk seal, can't reach the surface in time, and glub glub, goodbye. Turns out snorkels aren't fashion accessories. Who knew? Number 11. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round for the dumbest magic act you'll ever not see. This aspiring illusionist thought it'd be really cool to put a loaded revolver in his mouth for a trick. Because nothing says "trust me" like sticking a gun down your throat in front of your friends. He pulls the trigger, not as part of the trick, mind you, but to prove it's not loaded. Spoiler alert, it was. The gun goes off and his jaw takes a permanent vacation from his skull. No prestige, no applause, just a closed casket funeral. David Blaine, you're safe. Number 12. Next, meet a man who saw too many medieval movies and thought, I should protect my house with a giant trench. So he digs a 2-meter deep pit around his home, convinced that no burglar would dare cross the adult-sized sandbox of doom. Only problem? He forgot one minor detail: physics. The sides of the trench collapse right on top of him, trapped under a DIY security system made of dirt. Turns out castles had stone moats and architects. This guy had a shovel and a death wish. Number 13. Here's one for the mixologists out there. A Canadian truck operator is cleaning out his cab when he stumbles upon a blue bottle and thinks, vodka, because nothing screams top shelf liquor like something that smells like your grandma's kitchen counter. He chugs it. Turns out it's Windex filled with methanol. Not only does it not get you drunk, it gets you dead. Listen, I know Canada can be cold and lonely, but window cleaner isn't a cocktail. That's not Blue Lagoon. That's Blue Tomb. Number 14. Next, we head to Yellowstone National Park, home of beautiful geysers, wild animals, and apparently one 23-year-old genius who thought no swimming signs are just suggestions. He decides to soak in one of the thermal pools. You know, the ones filled with boiling acidic water and dissolve you in minutes vibes. He sneaks off the trail, jumps in, and sizzle pop, disintegrates faster than ramen in hot water. Rangers couldn't recover the body. Just his phone with selfies. Let this be a reminder: nature isn't a spa. If it's hot enough to melt your flip-flops, don't dip your meat suit into it. Number 15. Today stars a man with ambition, vision, and a scooter with a cape. This legend attached a flowing tail to the back of his motorized scooter because he wanted to look like a superhero. Not joking, he believed the visual effect would somehow make him fly. Well, he did take off, straight into a wooden fence at full speed, face first. Maybe not the skies he hoped for, but hey, brief moment of flight, followed by permanent grounding. I guess he really believed in himself. Until the fence didn't. Number 16. Two Russian guys decided a basic mirror selfie just wasn't cutting it anymore. So, what do they grab instead? A live grenade. Because nothing says likes like military explosives. They pulled the pin, yes, the actual pin, assuming it wouldn't go off unless they let go of the lever, which is technically true until someone flinches, laughs, or breathes too hard. One photo made it to the cloud. The cloud they're in now is, well, a bit higher up. If your selfie stick doubles as a detonator, maybe don't press the shutter. Number 17. Next up, a Romanian man with a genius method for checking gas leaks. Did he use soap bubbles? A detection device? His nose? Nope. He used a Zippo lighter. He leans in next to the propane tank, flicks the flame, and in one glorious moment of chemical harmony, the entire house detonates like a Michael Bay outtake. He dies instantly, and the structure becomes an abstract sculpture of regret. Checking for gas leaks with fire is like testing shark repellent by bleeding into the ocean. Number 18. A South African thief decided to take grave robbing to the next level. Literally. He started digging up a coffin, hoping to score some jewelry or valuables. Unfortunately, the soil wasn't in the mood. The edge collapsed mid-heist, and the earth did what no security system could. Buried him alive, inside a hole meant for someone else. Plot twist, he did get buried with treasure. Just not the kind he was hoping for. Number 19. This brilliant young man climbed onto the roof of a moving train to steal an antenna. He may have missed a key detail. Trains often carry 25,000 volts of raw electricity through overhead lines. As he reached up, the arc found him. Instant zap, body fried, mission failed. Stealing train parts from the top of a live rail car is the kind of move that gets you posthumously honored in a YouTube compilation of why evolution works. Number 20. This Brazilian man wanted to multitask, saving time by shaving with an electric razor in the shower. Electricity and water, humanity's oldest frenemy duo. But this guy thought, what's the worst that could happen? Spoiler, death by electrocution, mid-shave. Found with foam still on his face. A tragic statue of poor decision-making and wet sockets. Listen, folks, if your bathroom activities require both voltage and H2O, pick one. Not both. Preferably the one that doesn't end with a crispy corpse. Number 21. A college student in Croatia, hosting or attending what we can only assume was the worst organized rave of the century. At some point during this party, our hero decides that regular juggling, balls, pins, maybe apples, just isn't thrilling enough. Nope. He thinks, you know what would really impress the ladies? Live munitions. So he grabs a live grenade, because in Croatia, apparently that's what you do, and starts juggling it. Live, grenade, juggling. Mid-performance, gravity, and Darwin step in to correct the evolutionary timeline. It drops, it detonates, boom. He's instantly launched into whatever afterlife explains why you thought this was okay, and 6 others are injured, probably from both the blast and the sheer secondhand embarrassment. Let's be real. If you're going to juggle your way out of the gene pool, go big or go boom. Number 22. Now we head over to Japan, where a man attempted suicide and somehow managed to make several wrong decisions in one go. First, he filled his apartment with propane gas. Okay, dark, but effective. Then he passed out. But not from gas poisoning. From drinking, yeah, man pre-gamed his own demise. Because if you're gonna go, apparently you gotta do it with a buzz. Several hours later, he wakes up. In a propane-saturated room. The atmosphere is basically one big invisible bomb. He stretches, yawns, maybe scratches his head, and then lights a cigarette. Boom. He survived the initial suicide plan, but managed to blow half his face off and his apartment through the wall into next Tuesday. Imagine your neighbor calling the landlord, yeah, a guy just exploded into my kitchen. Can I get new blinds? Darwin didn't take him that day, but he definitely got an honorable mention and a lifelong reminder of what happens when gas meets Marlboro. Number 23. Back to Croatia, apparently the global headquarters for bad ideas with grenades. Marco, a man with soot problems, had a chimney that needed cleaning. So naturally, instead of calling a professional like a normal person, he thought, what if I use a grenade on a chain? Because what better way to clean soot than by sending a live explosive into a tight, enclosed space over your head? He welded the grenade, welded it onto a metal chain, and dropped it down the chimney like some sort of Eastern European Santa Claus of doom. Now, I don't know if you've ever welded something before, but hot metal plus live explosives, usually not in the home improvement section at Home Depot. Anyway, the grenade heated up, the fuse activated, and boom. Marco went from chimney sweep to chimney splatter. The explosion not only vaporized him, but also destroyed the workshop and even took out a nearby Mercedes that wasn't even part of this nonsense. Moral of the story? Just pay the damn sweep. Number 24. Now let's talk about a story that's so stupid it has become American folklore. The JATO rocket car. So here's how the legend goes. A guy in the American Southwest, of course, gets his hands on a JATO rocket. These are the kind of military-grade rockets used to help planes take off from short runways. He straps it to his 1967 Chevy Impala, because what else would a proud American do with literal jet propulsion? He figures, if this can launch a cargo plane, it can launch me straight into badass territory. He gets on a flat road, lights the JATO, and within seconds the car is moving at 300 miles per hour. Problem is, turns out at that speed, you don't steer, you fly. He hits a bump, goes airborne, and slams into the side of a cliff, some 100 feet off the ground. The car was fused to the rock. There was allegedly nothing left but a smoldering crater and some really confused highway patrol officers. Now, plot twist, this story was later debunked by Arizona authorities. But you know what? It's still one of the greatest. I believe it because I want to believe it. Darwin classics of all time. And honestly, sounds like something you'd try after 3 Bud Lights and a dare from your cousin Randy. Number 25. Now, for the grand finale, let's head to Brazil. One man, one RPG, that's a rocket-propelled grenade, not a role-playing game. Though this story is about someone pretending to have intelligence and one very bold repair plan. He tries to disarm the RPG by running over it with his car, which is both creative and stupid, like trying to disarm a landmine by dancing on it in flip-flops. Unsurprisingly, it didn't work. So plan B, he takes out a sledgehammer. He hits the unexploded RPG like it owes him money. And this time, it obliges. Boom. Instant detonation. 1 man dead, 6 cars destroyed, and the entire workshop is reduced to ash and bad decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, never, ever bring a hammer to a bomb fight. Number 1. All right, first up, Brazil. A country of carnival, caipirinhas, and car owners with a PhD in bad ideas. This one guy was sick of car thieves. So what does he do? Puts on his engineering cap and wires a 240-volt electric fence into his car. Yes, his car. Now, theoretically, genius. Reality, Darwin Award. Because, see, he forgot to unplug it. So the next morning, probably still half asleep and craving a strong espresso, he touches the door handle. And boom! The car did what no thief ever managed. It killed its own owner. I mean, I get being protective of your ride, but when your anti-theft system is more dangerous than the criminals you're trying to stop, maybe just install a camera or a dog. Number 2, this one sounds like a Netflix dark comedy. During the 2022 Russian invasion, soldiers decided to camp out in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. You know, the most radioactive chunk of real estate on the planet. Not enough glowing reviews on Yelp, I guess. But wait, it gets better. They dug trenches in the radioactive soil and took souvenirs, as in literal contaminated objects. They brought them home, like, hey babe, I got you this glowing rock from the Red Forest. It's warm to the touch. Reports started popping up later. Soldiers falling ill. Signs of radiation sickness. People glowing in the dark. Okay, that last one might be sarcasm. Maybe. And the best part? They weren't even supposed to be there. The guides usually say, don't touch anything. Don't sit. Don't breathe deeply. And these guys were making bunk beds in cesium-flavored dirt. Number 3. Yes, the classic, hold my camera while I get mauled by nature. In the 70s, this guy was on safari in Namibia. You know the rules. They're printed in every guidebook, shouted by every tour guide, and tattooed on the soul of anyone who's seen The Lion King. Stay in the vehicle. But nope, not our hero. He spots a lioness and thinks, perfect selfie opportunity. Gets out of the Jeep, walks up, camera rolling. Because if you're gonna die, might as well make it content, right? He got too close. The lioness decided she'd had enough paparazzi, charges him, mauls him to death. On camera, it's tragic, but it's also the natural consequence of treating apex predators like Instagram models. Folks, when the lion roars, it's not asking for a filter. Number 4. Let's go domestic. Middle America, Michigan. Land of snow, lakes, and questionable roadside repairs. So there's this mechanic riding along a rural highway, trying to figure out what's causing his truck to rattle. Now a normal person. Pull over, park, pop the hood. But this guy, nah, he decides to do it under the moving truck. Yes, under it. Like he was auditioning for Fast and Furious, Farm Edition. While the truck was in motion, he somehow got partially underneath it. His clothing got caught in the drive shaft, and it dragged him. You can guess the rest. It wasn't just the engine that stopped running. And look, I get that Midwestern work ethic, but come on, even tractors need a timeout before surgery. Number 5. Elyria, Ohio. One man, one basement, one heroic battle against cobwebs. So the guy goes down into his basement, sees cobwebs, spiders be gone, but instead of grabbing a broom or literally anything designed for cleaning, he picks up a propane torch. Because apparently he thought what this mildly dusty room needs is fire. One spark hits insulation. Boom. House goes up like it was soaked in gasoline. He didn't make it out. Honestly, if your cleanup strategy ends with the fire department sifting through ashes, maybe just hire a maid next time. Number 6. Let's kick this off with one woman, one loaded gun, and one giant magnet. So picture this. It's 2023 and we've apparently learned nothing from signage, science, or common sense. A woman shows up for an MRI. Now, MRIs, if you're unfamiliar, are like giant magnets that scan your body. As in magnets so strong they'll suck a paperclip off your ankle from across the room. Now what does she do? She brings a loaded handgun into the room in her waistband while climbing onto the table. Spoiler alert, MRIs and metal don't mix. The second that magnet powered up, her pistol got yanked like Thor's hammer. except instead of flying to a Norse god, it discharged and shot her in the butt. No, this isn't a deleted scene from Final Destination. It's real. She survived, which is honestly a shame, only because this was so painfully close to the full Darwin qualification. But still, a strong, honorable mention for managing to shoot yourself with your own gun using magnetic force. Number 7. Now meet Mad Mike Hughes, a real American daredevil and flat Earth advocate who decided to stick it to NASA by building his own rocket. His goal? To blast himself up high enough to prove the Earth was flat. Not by launching a drone or checking Google Earth like the rest of us. No, no. Mike built a steam-powered rocket in his backyard. Steam, like a tea kettle, but weaponized. And in March 2025, he finally did it. He launched himself into the sky over the California desert. It was televised. People watched in awe as this thing blasted off with homemade glory, and then, just seconds later, it nosedived. No parachute deployed. No happy landing. Mike hit the desert floor faster than a conspiracy theory on Twitter. Look, I'll say this. The guy had guts and steam and an alarming disregard for aerodynamics. But if you're going to launch yourself like Looney Tunes to disprove 500 years of science, maybe check your chute first? Rest in pieces, Mike. You may have missed the curvature, but you nailed the impact. Number 8. Next up, Athens, Greece, land of history, olives, and now helicopter-based natural selection. So this tourist, clearly unsatisfied with normal selfies like Acropolis in the background or drunk on ouzo, decides he needs an action shot. He sneaks under a running helicopter, presumably thinking, wow, what a cool angle. What he didn't realize or chose to ignore is that the tail rotor of a helicopter spins fast, like invisible blender of death, fast. Before anyone could yell, "Opa!" Whack! The rotor hits him. Instant fatality. What makes this one even more peak Darwin? There were warning signs. Multiple. But like all great stories of disaster, he ignored them. Tourist tip. If it sounds like a high-powered fan and spins like a ceiling demon, don't walk toward it. Not everything is worth a selfie, especially not a 360-degree brain smoothie. Number 9. Okay, Florida. Again. This guy, let's call him Terminal Tarzan, was at Tampa International Airport, possibly under the influence of, well, everything. Meds, mystery pills, maybe optimism. Either way, he decides elevators are for amateurs. Instead, he pries open the doors, grabs the cables inside, and starts sliding down. Like in the movies. Except Hollywood tends to fake those scenes with stunt doubles and physics. About 3 seconds later, he falls headfirst into the shaft and crashes onto the roof of the elevator. And just like that, he achieved 2 things. He never had to wait for baggage claim again. He earned a posthumous PhD in gravity the hard way. Let this be a reminder, folks. If you see an elevator door pried open and think, I bet I can ninja this, stop. Think. Call your therapist. Then take the stairs. Number 10. And now, back to Russia. Because if Darwin had a second home, it's somewhere near the Urals. In 2017, a man decided to get creative with chemistry. He finds an old artillery shell. Just lying around because Russia. Then he mixes calcium carbide and water inside it to see what happens. Spoiler, nothing good. Now for those who skipped high school science. Calcium carbide plus water equals explosive gas. And putting that inside a war cannon? That's not an experiment. That's a deleted Mythbuster scene they weren't allowed to air. So naturally, it goes off hard. The shell explodes in a beautiful arc of chaos, sending hot metal flying in all directions, including right back into the welder. This wasn't art. This was a one-man performance of how to lose a face in 10 seconds. Pro tip: if your project involves antique weaponry, unstable chemicals, and the sentence, "Let's see what happens," you're not a scientist. You're a Darwin finalist with a death wish. Number 11. New Year's Eve. A global celebration of poor decisions and even worse fireworks. And this year, Germany brought the Darwin heat. In 4 separate incidents, yes, 4 because apparently chaos loves company, groups of men decided to ring in the new year with illegal F4 grade fireworks. These are not your backyard sparklers. These are military grade, let's see what explodes devices. None of the enthusiasts had permits. Most had beer. All had bad ideas. One guy tried to hand light a rocket with a cigarette. Another assembled a custom firecracker out of a coffee can and what I assume was enough powder to level a garage. Boom, 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 boom. 3 fatalities. One guy evaporated part of his torso, according to the coroner's charming description. It's like Darwin decided to host a group project. And the takeaway? If you need a license to own it, maybe don't duct tape it to your chest. Number 12. This one comes straight from Reddit's "Today I F'd Up" section, where truth meets tragedy in the most avoidable ways. So, it's winter. Our hero decides the best way to deal with frozen branches and ice is a wood chipper. Already, this sounds like a deleted Jackass scene. But he doesn't just feed branches into it. No, that would be responsible. He kicks them. He literally kicks chunks of frozen tree and ice toward the spinning maw of a death machine. And then he slips. You already know where this is going. Foot slips, body stumbles, head follows, and whir chomp silence. That's the last time anyone saw his skull intact. Reddit summarized it best. 0 thoughts. 0 head. A man who mistook a wood chipper for a snow shovel and paid the ultimate price. Number 13. Now let's talk about urban treasure hunting gone wrong. In Illinois, a man, fueled by booze and whatever misguided confidence comes at 2 a.m., decides to do some dumpster diving behind a shopping center. And then he falls asleep. Inside the dumpster. Now, dumpsters have one job: hold trash. And garbage trucks? They're not designed to check for human inventory before compacting. Morning comes, truck rolls in, arms lift, dumpster flips, and our sleeping beauty gets crushed in the compactor like an aluminum can. The police said he died instantly. I'm guessing he didn't even wake up for the ride. Modern morality tale. If you're gonna party that hard, maybe just Uber home. Or at the very least, don't nap where trash meets machinery. Number 14. There's something magical about the human brain short-circuiting in real time. This story features a man working at an electrical substation in India who suddenly needed to relieve himself. And instead of, walking 15 feet to safety, he chose to pee directly onto the electrical box. Look, I'm no scientist, but I am pretty sure that liquid plus live current plus exposed flesh equals barbecue. Sure enough, the stream connected him to the grid. A zap, a scream, and the guy became crispy bacon in steel-toe boots. They say electricity flows through the path of least resistance. And in this case, it flowed straight through his, resistance. Another perfect case of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Or in this case, don't cross the streams, especially near transformers. To number 15. Ah, yes, the age-old story of man versus tree. This Reddit user shared a tale of a local arborist, though I'm using arborist very loosely, who needed to prune a tall branch and didn't have a ladder. So he built one out of sticks and duct tape. It looked exactly like what a raccoon would construct if given 5 minutes and a Lowe's gift card. Naturally, midway up his leaning tower of nope, it gave out. He fell about 20 feet onto his own tools, tragically earning himself a pine-scented send-off. There's a certain poetry here. Man tries to defy gravity using twigs, then meets the ground the way nature intended. Darwin strikes again because gravity always wins. Number 16. Our next contestant in the what could possibly go wrong show tried to steal gas from a parked RV. Now, siphoning gas already tells you two things. One, the person isn't great at life choices. And two, they probably skipped science class. This particular genius stuck a tube into the first tank he found and started sucking in fuel like a college student after finals. Except, plot twist, it wasn't the gas tank. It was the sewage tank. That's right. He siphoned the wrong end of the RV. Instead of unleaded, he got a full mouthful of last week's chili. There was no explosion, unless you count his dignity detonating on the sidewalk. The best part? He ran off gagging, slipping on his own shoes. The RV owner found the hose and called the cops, who I assume are still laughing about it to this day. Number 17. It's the 4th of July. You're at a family restaurant. Fireworks are popping, hot dogs are grilling, and here comes Uncle Sam, literally. This guy went full patriot. Top hat, suspenders, giant American flag cape. But he wanted more than just applause. He wanted spectacle. So he placed a live mortar tube on his head. Now, for anyone not familiar, mortars aren't meant for headgear. They're explosives that launch fireworks into the sky, not accessories for themed selfies. One whoosh later, the tube misfired directly into his head. No lift, no delay, just boom. Witnesses said he went from Uncle Sam to red, white, and oops in 0.3 seconds. His send-off was described as patriotic and smoky. Kids, don't play fireworks roulette with your skull. Just wave a sparkler like a normal person. Number 18. Next up, culinary combat with a side of tragedy. Barry Griffiths, a 57-year-old man in Wales, was prepping frozen hamburger patties. You know those bricks of meat that stick together like Lego? Instead of thawing them or using a spatula, Barry grabbed a kitchen knife and started prying them apart. Hard. Think Excalibur, but cold and greasy. Unfortunately, one burger slipped, the knife didn't, and Barry accidentally stabbed himself in the stomach. It hit an artery. He collapsed before the ambulance could arrive. Cause of death, death by cheeseburger. Uncooked. Moral of the story? Microwaves exist. Use them. Frozen food should never fight back. Number 19. You'd think if you're hunting a bear, you'd assume the bear could, fall. But no. This Virginia hunter spotted a bear in a tree, shot it. Good aim, textbook drop. What he didn't expect? That bear was going to come straight down. Like a 300-pound furry bowling ball of karma, it plummeted from the branches and landed right on top of him. Bear, 1. Hunter, 0. He was found crushed beneath it, rifle still in hand, boots in the air. It's what we call natural consequences. And somewhere, in a cave nearby, the bear gods chuckled. Number 20. Robert, a 37-year-old gun owner from California, wanted to prove to his wife that guns are safe if you treat them properly. Cue the red flags. He held a loaded .45 under his chin, smiled confidently, and said, "See? Totally unloaded." He pulled the trigger. Turns out it wasn't unloaded. The shot ended the demonstration and, well, everything else. Gun safety tip number 1. If you're proving it's unloaded, maybe don't point it at your own face. It's like trying to show your parachute works by jumping without checking. Some mistakes only get made once. Number 21. Animal rights activists in Germany decided to liberate some pigs from a slaughterhouse. Noble goal, questionable execution. They cut the locks, flung the doors open, and released over 2,000 pigs. Now, pigs are not gentle creatures when startled. They're fast, heavy, and don't check their blind spots. Within seconds, a scene straight out of a farm-themed action movie unfolded. The activists were promptly trampled, oinked into oblivion by the very animals they came to save. Moral of the story? If you're going to save livestock, maybe don't stand in the exit lane. The pigs didn't become bacon that day, but someone sure got flattened like a pancake. Number 22. Let's jump over to the US, where one bold burglar went full cartoon logic. He broke into a business and found a 900-pound safe. Jackpot! Except instead of cracking it open, he decided to haul the whole thing out himself. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well. The police later found the thief under the safe, crushed. What's worse, the safe was empty. This is what happens when you skip the step where you make sure you're not lifting half a car with your spine. The only thing he got out of the heist was a one-way trip to Darwin Nominee of the Year. Number 23. New Year's Eve, 1999. The whole world is buzzing about Y2K, the new millennium, and awkward party hats. Enter Todd, a man who believed every milestone deserves an unforgettable stunt. He climbed a 30-foot light pole in Nevada just before midnight to celebrate. Why? Because he could. As the countdown hit 0, Todd lost his grip and grabbed the nearest thing, which happened to be live electrical wires. You know what came next? Sparks, a fall, and a permanent place in Y2K lore. He rang in the new millennium with a fireworks display of his own making. Number 24. Next up, a man who wanted tea on the go, literally. Driving through the scenic, winding roads of New Zealand, this guy decided it was the perfect time to brew tea. Yes, with a gas burner. While driving. Somewhere between boil water and steep the leaves, his car plunged off a cliff. Rescue workers found the wreck days later. Thermos still in hand now. That's commitment to your caffeine ritual. Pro tip, if your tea is so urgent you're multitasking on a mountain road, maybe switch to a travel mug and live to sip another day. Number 25. What happens when you combine peer pressure, bad judgment, and railway infrastructure? Two men in the Netherlands decided to one-up each other in a dare to see who could lie on a train track the longest. Yep. Actually, lie down on active tracks, waiting for a train. One even knelt next to the other's head. For moral support? Drama? Who knows? And wouldn't you know it, the train arrived. On time, like European trains tend to be. Both men didn't get a chance to high-five for their bravery. Because trains don't break for nonsense. This one's a Darwin Award 2-for-1 special, because sometimes evolution just can't wait. Number 26. Young love is a beautiful thing until it turns into a tragic PSA. A 19-year-old German man thought it'd be cute, maybe even romantic, to push his girlfriend into an icy river for Valentine's Day. You know, like a prank from a bad rom-com. She screamed. He laughed. Then, to save the moment, he dove in after her. Except plot twist, she swam out, he didn't. Turns out the shock of the cold triggered a medical episode. The girlfriend lived. He passed away. No word on whether she updated her relationship status before or after the rescue. But this much is certain: Cupid was not involved in this decision making process. And that's a wrap on our June Darwin Awards compilation. 4 entire videos worth of people who proved, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that common sense is not nearly as common as it should be. From toaster forking heroes to wannabe rocket scientists, these contestants didn't just bend the rules of survival, they snapped them in half. Now, before anyone even thinks about trying to recreate any of these stunts, don't. Seriously. These are not life hacks, they're life endings. Consider this your friendly reminder that the Darwin Awards exist because someone else already did the dumb thing for you. You don't need to audition. If you enjoyed this compilation and want to see more of humanity's most baffling decision making on display, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And hey, drop a comment below. Maybe you've heard a wild story from a friend, a relative, or just something unbelievable you read in the news. Who knows? It might even make it into the next round. Till then, stay safe, stay smart. And for the love of survival, keep your forks out of the toaster.